Check one, check two, check 1, 2, 3. Check one, check two, check 1, 2, 3. Checking one, checking two, checking 1, 2, 3. Mic check 1, 2. Mic check 1, 2, 3.
All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning in person or virtually for our 5th annual Habitat for Humanity of Huron Valley Breakfast, Framing the Future. My name is Jimmy Wilson Jr. I'm a member of the Habitat Board of Directors, and I'll be your MC for this morning. I joined the board because I believe that affordable housing is a right for all people, and I can't think of a better way to spend my time than helping advance that cause. Habitat is important to me because I believe that same mission of providing affordable housing for people in need. We know that when our neighbors have stable housing, it not only helps the family, but it uplifts the entire community. We're happy to have you here today to talk about the Habitat mission and the impact that it's had on the lives of local homeowners. During these times of rising costs and interest rates, it is especially important to remember that housing is essential. Housing provides safety, stability, and shelter. While many take this for granted, too many of our community members lack access to safe, decent, and affordable housing. Before we jump right in, I want to take a minute to thank our sponsors. Matching gift sponsors, Don and Gail Redding, and Old National Bank. Contractor sponsors, Bank of Ann Arbor, Reinhardt Realtors, Reinhardt Charitable Foundation, Retirement Income Solutions, and University Bank. Journeyman sponsors, Altruic Advisors, and apprentice sponsors, Absolute Title, DTE Energy, and DTE Seal. Thank you, sponsors, for your financial support. It really helps Habitat keep our program strong in our community. Let's give them a hand. We'll be talking today about several of our programs and how the work that we do helps bridge that wealth gap. The affordable home ownership programs and home improvement projects that we offer support people within the 30 to 80% area median income here in Washtenaw County. We need your help today with that. You'll notice that there are pledge cards and envelopes on your table. You'll also see a QR code. If you're at home, you can simply click the link on the donate button on the website or take a picture with your phone of that QR code. Or you can write a check and mail it to the address on our website. Your donation will have double the impact today, thanks to our generous matching gift sponsors. Please enjoy your breakfast and our presentation. Despite the challenges that these pandemic years have presented to us all, Habitat continued our work, adjusting to the increase in property prices, material cost inflation, and shortages and delays that affected our ability to build. With the incredible support of our partners, home buyers, volunteers, donors, and staff, 11 new homeowners celebrated the end of 2021 in their new, safe, and affordable homes. Our home improvement program provided critical repairs, weatherization, and energy efficiency upgrades and improvements for our over 1,200 homeowners. We'll introduce you to some of those people today. Improving affordable homeownership leads to numerous outcomes that extend beyond a house. These include greater economic stability, access to quality education, increased civic and social engagement, better health, and a reduced environmental footprint. The research done by Habitat for Humanity International, we know more about wealth and financial stability and the impact that affordable housing has had on individuals and families. U.S. homeowners have an average net wealth that is 400% higher than that of renters with similar demographics and earnings. Home equity represents the largest proportion of wealth for U.S. households. There is a correlation between home ownership and increased wealth, with each year of home ownership being associated with an additional $9,500 in net wealth on average. In 2019, net wealth was disproportionately lower for households that were Black or Hispanic. Habitat partners with families to lower the barriers of affordable home ownership and creates opportunities for those who may not otherwise have access to owning a home. This enables them to grow wealth through forced savings and property value appreciation. This morning, you'll hear from our CEO, Sarah Stanton, and several staff members as they discuss many ways that we're currently adjusting our work so we can continue to make affordable homeownership a reality in our community. We know that with this we know that this can transform lives by breaking the cycle of generational poverty and providing a hand up to people who are working to achieve this dream in our community. Rents and home ownership costs are skyrocketing while wages are not keeping pace. Unfortunately, 1 out of every 6 families are denied the personal and economic stability that safe, decent, and affordable housing provides. Since 1989, we have been creating affordable home ownership opportunities for deserving families in partnership with our community. Candidates for our programs must demonstrate a need for affordable and adequate shelter, the ability to pay back a low-interest loan, and be willing to invest 200 sweat equity hours and complete homebuyer education classes. Our homeowners purchase their homes from Habitat with a low interest rate, and their mortgage payments support the home builds of future homeowners. This creates a perpetual cycle that allows our programs to continue. This morning, you'll learn more about our home improvement program, which offers repairs and improvements to homeowners in our community who want to stay in their homes safely as they age in place. Now I'd like to introduce to you some of our homeowners who have helped this past year, and to Martha Davis, who is the Senior Director of our Home Improvement Program, as we watch the video.
I was in a tough situation with money, and my roof started leaking, and I just didn't know where else to reach to.
Well, I woke up in the night and I heard a big bang. The car come off the street and hit my ramp. I didn't know it till the next morning.
2 years ago, I had a major heart attack and I dropped dead in the basement. And it was 4 weeks in the hospital to recovery. Well, when I finally learned how to walk again, stepping over that tub was not really an option.
Most people think of Habitat as an organization that builds houses, but we have found that not only do people need affordable housing, but the houses that they're already in need some critical repairs, and that's what our home improvement does. So when somebody finds that they have a repair that's a new roof or their furnace stopped working, that's the kind of things that we can provide to them. We're not going to beautify your house, but we're going to make it safe, and especially for seniors, make it somewhere they can age into the future safely and comfortably and afford it.
I didn't know what to do because I didn't have the money really to fix it. Habitat stopped by and they said, "We'll get this fixed for you." They came out and put the ramp, looked at it and put the ramp back together, and it was great.
So we work a lot with veterans. They've served our country courageously and given part of their life to our country, and we think that we should give something back to them.
I told them my situation with the roof, and I was a single mother and a veteran, and any kind of help, I would greatly appreciate it. And they came right out and helped me.
Sarah, yeah, she came up.
She came up and was talking to us, and she asked Mike if he was a veteran, and he said yes. And she says, well, I think we can help you. So she did.
They did a new roof, helped me with my back patio door. It was bringing some cold air in during the winter time, so they were able to fix it and seal it up for me. Fans in my bathroom to prevent mold, and fix a leak in my wall that was coming from my roof. Felt life-changing because it was just a bunch of projects that were lifted off my shoulder, and I could focus on other things for my house and children. It was really life-changing.
Says, well, it looks like you need a new roof, you need a new furnace, you need a new hot water tank, a new refrigerator. And they just came in and they did what they thought we needed, and it was great. Lowered our utility bills by about $125.
In order to qualify for Habitat's programs, you need to be within a certain income level. Tends to be a lower income. They have to have homeowners insurance on their home. Property taxes have to be current. Mortgage, if they have one, needs to be current. There is a small repayment to Habitat for a portion of the work that we do. Typically, it's $50 a month over a period of time.
And that was a blessing. That was a blessing to me. Yeah, because I lost my wife 2 or 3 years ago. It's really tight trying to, live on my income. Now I've been retired 30 years.
We've been retired for about 12 years now, and we live on Social Security. And Habitat for Humanity has saved us a ton of money. Their options of they bring everything in here and they do the job, and they bill us interest-free, $50 a month.
I want to say thank you to Habitat for Humanity for making my house safe for me and my children. Took a lot of stress off of my shoulders.
Wasn't that great to see some of the good work that our home improvement program is doing? Now we need your help as well. Help us to educate the community in our programs. Help us to recruit volunteers and donors to fulfill the Habitat mission. We know that with you by our side, we can do this together. Thank you again for being here this morning. It is now my pleasure to introduce to some and present to others our CEO, who has been with us for over 18 years. She will talk to you and some of our staff about our programs, Miss Sarah Stanton.
I'll start up here. Yes. Can you hear me? Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you, Jimmy. That was great, and hope you guys enjoyed the video. We're just getting to see it, and it feels good to see it, and so wonderful to have everybody here in the room, and also our guests that are online watching it live. But it's wonderful to get in person together with people and talk about what we do. I often feel like Habitat is sort of this best kept secret. It's people know Habitat. Everybody knows, oh, you work for Habitat for Humanity, and they have a really positive feeling about it, thanks to Jimmy Carter and others. But they often, I don't think, realize the depth of the work that Habitat's able to do. And that's one of the things I'm most proud of with our Habitat is that we have transitioned over the years to the marketplace and looking what's happening in the world and in the marketplace in Washtenaw County in particular, and tried to, provide our resources in the most efficient, effective way. And so, as Jimmy said, it's exciting to get to talk to you guys today about what's happening at Habitat, and to have you take this out and talk to other people about what Habitat's doing. I know, many people are from the banks or from real estate agents, and you're probably talking to your friends that are in the midst of trying to buy a home on the market, and there's just nothing to buy. There's particularly nothing to buy in that lower end of the income range, and the interest rates are now going up. And the market is so tight, and that's what Habitat's facing too, and our buyers are facing that. So it's very important right now just to help people get into the marketplace. We've been looking lately, and we haven't, finalized some of this data, but how much equity the buyers that we've been selling over these last years, how much equity they're earning and have in their homes, which is awesome. So as things are doing really well, I'm really happy for the people we've already sold to, because they're building their wealth. But it's very difficult going forward. But I'm excited to get to talk to you guys here today, and I have a few of our staff going to answer some questions from me. So let's start with you, Sarah Tier. Tell us a little bit about Habitat's historical changes in home ownership, and how that led to the formation of our community development programs and others.
Sure. Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah. I work in our community engagement program, and we started, as a lot of people know, homeownership was our flagship program. We built homes, kind of 3 to 5 houses a year for a very long time. Then we ramped up to 7 or 8 houses a year. And then in 2008, we really had a shift. That was when, unfortunately, the foreclosure crisis happened, and there were lots of vacant and empty homes around in the county. However, that was also a very specific program that came out from the government that was funding to be able to purchase vacant homes that could be renovated and sold to low-income buyers. And one of the communities in which this funding was available was the Galt Village neighborhood in Ypsi Township. So that was an opportunity for us to really look into buying homes that we could then start renovating. And so that year was the year that we switched to renovation of homes. And these were neighborhoods that were on tipping points where, putting houses back into home ownership could really make that community more stable and more home buyer versus rental. And so in Galt Village, over the years, we have renovated over 40 houses and sold them to families that are obviously still living there today. But during that time when we were renovating these homes in the Galt Village neighborhood, we were also hearing from residents that lived there who were facing challenges, kind of like the folks you saw in the video, who just needed a new roof or who needed repairs or who needed a new furnace. So that's what led us to launch our home improvement program. In 2012, we started with 18 homes in Galt Village. We worked with those residents to do weatherization work, new insulation, air sealing, new furnaces, new water heaters, all with the goal of lowering people's energy bills and really making their homes safe and affordable in places that they could then stay in and live in forever. We were also at that same time thinking, we're doing home ownership here, we're doing home improvement here. What other ways can we get involved with the community partners and the residents to really improve the quality of life in those communities? And so that's how our community development program really was formed. We took the cues from the residents. We got a steering committee together of community partners and residents and said, what's going well? What do you love about your neighborhood? What are some of the things that you'd like to see changed? And how can we all work together to make that happen? And so over a series of years, we did door-to-door surveys, we did community meetings, we did focus groups, we went to Neighborhood Watch, we met with community leaders, we brought in other partners, and we learned from the community, here's our priorities, here are the things that we really want to see happen. And so Habitat's role then is to provide a space for those conversations to happen and, access other partners, bring in funding in some cases, and really listen to the residents and provide help in the areas that they need. So in Galt Village, some of the things that we did that were important to the community members were social engagement. So they started a garden club. We did these neighborhood walkabouts where we'd have one street where the residents would be outside just sharing information about themselves, and then other neighbors would come and meet them and talk to them. And over the years, we've expanded that community engagement work into the West Willow neighborhood and the Sugarbrook neighborhood. And we're so happy today to have some of our community partners and residents from all of our neighborhoods with us this morning. So all of this is, really goes hand in hand together. We're doing home improvements, we're doing home ownership, we're doing community building work, all with the goal of stabilizing communities, strengthening communities, listening to the residents, hearing what those needs are, and then coming together to improve the quality of life in those communities.
Great. Thank you, Sarah. So Sarah's I forgot to say, she's our Senior Director of Resident and Community Engagement and has been with the organization for a long time, 16 years, 16 years, which is awesome. And part of the success I think we've had is Sarah has moved through the organization and paired things together for us. So I really appreciate Sarah as a member of our team. And now I'd like to turn to Al Lindsay, our construction manager. Al, would you tell us a little bit about how COVID impacted our construction process and what that sort of looked like during the 2 years of that? I mean, we're still going through it, but
still feeling the effects.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Really had a big impact on our construction cost. It's taken a big toll on us with materials unavailability. We lost some or have a pause in some of our donated products like cabinets and insulation. And then just the stuff that we're buying and using on a daily basis is much more expensive. For example, we use a lot of OSB when we work on the houses, and we used to get that for under $10 a sheet. And at its worst, it got up over $70 a sheet. And currently it's right around 30. And we'll use at least 20 sheets per house. So we feel that impact in our bottom line.
Yeah, thank you. How long did we go without volunteers when COVID first hit? I mean, we had to operate differently for a while.
Yeah, we sure did. We went for about 3 months without any volunteer support, and then slowly started ramping up volunteers after that, and continued to navigate the pandemic the best we could, and had a couple pauses in there as things got worse. But
yeah, the houses kept going, and they had to keep meeting, our deadlines, and so our team really switched from using volunteers to doing the work and then trying to incorporate volunteers back in. How do volunteers contribute to the process? I mean, what difference does that make to us?
Oh, they're critical to our process. We've got a small construction team relative to the amount of houses that we work on. And so we really rely on the volunteer support to come out and help us get the houses completed. The old saying's true, many hands make light work.
Yeah. That's right. Well, and how's it looking right now? I mean, we're still trying to figure out what's happening, but what's it look like now that we're heading into summer?
Yeah, we are real close to what we were pre-pandemic. We've got a good full volunteer schedule. We still have slight issues with like windows and doors and some things that are still delayed or unavailable for us, but we're running as close to full capacity as we can.
Awesome. Thank you, Al. That's great. I appreciate it. So Al is our construction manager. Now we're going to talk to LaTanya Fair. LaTanya is our housing counselor and financial educator. Been with us like 5 years. Al,
5 years.
5 years. Al, how long have you been with us? Over 6 years. Sorry, I should have written this down, but it's awesome, isn't it? Yeah. So LaTanya, tell us a little bit about our Habitat Education Program and how it works with potential home buyers and others.
Sure. So we teach the first-time homebuyer course, and we also provide individual pre-purchase counseling, and really to help empower future home buyers to learn the home process steps and to help them to successfully overcome barriers to home ownership. And so we have a pre-purchase education course, which really provides general instructions to increase knowledge and build new skills in home ownership. The subjects that we do cover are home ownership readiness and affordability, money and credit management, how to obtain a mortgage, shopping for a home, the closing process, learning about your consumer rights, home inspection, and financial management post-purchase.
Awesome.
And in addition, we have professionals in the home buying team. We have a lender, we have a realtor, and a home inspector in our classes so that our participants can get a really good understanding of the home buying process and they are fully educated. In addition, we also offer pre-purchase counseling, and this is really geared towards the needs of that individual who are really looking to overcome barriers to purchasing a home, where we provide an analysis of their finances, helping them with coming up with a savings plan, an action plan, again, to help them to achieve home ownership.
Awesome. What are some of the barriers that we do see for people? When they come in, what are they up against?
Well, as we all know, that the housing prices across America, especially here in Washtenaw County, is at an all-time high. And the rapid rate of interest rate right now is really affecting a lot of our first-time home buyers. There's low inventory and really a lack of affordable starter homes. So those are really huge barriers. Now add on top of that inflation right now. And the inflation rate is at an all-time high, a 40-year high actually. And that is really hitting a lot of people's budgets.
Yeah.
You know, the cost of living. Food is more expensive. Shelter is more expensive. Gas, utilities, childcare, and the interest rates on your credit cards are pretty high now. So this new reality really does affect the home buyer's ability to save for the goal of home ownership, to have an emergency savings, and also continue to pay for those essentials.
Thanks, Latanya. You know, Latanya mentioned she meets one-on-one with many people to help them develop a budget or set goals for themselves around home buying, either through Habitat or somewhere else. And I mean, Latanya is a gift of, it's a difficult thing to talk to somebody about. I mean, you can't budget out of not having enough income to buy a home or not having enough income to pay your bills. And do you have a question? Oh, okay. Sure. Well, the courses are online.
Yes.
They're done online and they're free to anybody who wants to take the course. Yeah, yes, please check our website at h4h.org, and it's free. And I often say, I mean, I'm really super proud of our home ownership program, our community development, our HIP, but education, really is available to our full community throughout Washtenaw County, and we serve a lot of people that way. And there are people that are, they may never own a home, or they may own a home in 5 years, but they're starting with Latanya, talking to her about what goals they're setting. And it's making progress for them. It's a huge impact in our community. And Latanya does have a great way of expressing, the hard things to talk about. Like what are your priorities? Looks to me like you've been spending a lot in this area. Maybe that's, if saving for your down payment is a priority, you would need to do something different. So it's awesome. It's important. And thank you, Latanya, for your great work.
Yes.
Thanks. And now we're going to talk to Chris Brown. Chris is our homebuyer services manager. Chris has been with us 8 years. Oh my God, right. 8 years. First one I nailed. Yeah, thank you, Chris. And Chris has had a number of different roles in the organization, which also helps, sort of bring things together for people. And very difficult job right now for Habitat. So tell us a little bit about how our homeownership program compares to the conventional market.
Yeah, so I like to say that we remove a lot of those stress points that often either dissuade or discourage people from even participating in the property market to begin with. First of all, there's no competition for a house, so there's no multiple offer situations, no bidding wars, which can often really drive up prices on the conventional market. Also, since we only require a $1,000 down payment, our home buyers don't have to spend potentially years saving up that 20% that's traditional. And that 20% has been, even more problematic than ever lately because it's been sort of a moving target. The 20% that you might have been able to save in 2019 is not the same 20% that you need to save in 2022 to be able to buy a house. Also, our lenders don't require mortgage insurance, PMI, so that will save our home buyers easily $100 or more every month on their housing costs. And then lastly, because our home buyers have our program of sweat equity, they get to participate in the construction of their own and other people's houses. They know that they're moving into a move-in ready, fully renovated or newly constructed house. So they're not going to have to spend potentially tens of thousands of dollars doing the updates and maintenance and repairs that can really sometimes hamper, especially first-time buyers on the conventional market.
Great, thanks. Let's hear a little bit of information about our work to increase Black home ownership.
Yeah, absolutely. So, according to the Census Bureau, as of the end of 2020, about 44% of Black Americans owned their homes, compared with about 75% of white Americans. Now, we have a long history in this country of predatory and discriminatory lending practices. And that has gone a long way towards creating this really wide gap in home ownership. And we heard Jimmy earlier talk about the benefits that come with especially generational home ownership. Now, 70% of Habitat home buyers are people of color. And so what I like to think is that the work that we're doing is going towards correcting that serious imbalance that really does reverberate through both our economy and our society as a whole. So I think I'll leave it there.
Okay.
But yeah, so with about 70% of Habitat's home buyers being people of color, we really are helping to close that really serious equity gap in this country.
Thanks, Chris. And could you talk a little bit about our down payment assistance and how important that is?
Yeah, so down payment assistance is really a catalyst that a lot of the people that buy houses with us need to even make the home affordable in the first place. Washtenaw County is the most expensive non-luxury housing market in the state of Michigan, so I'm excluding like Traverse City, for example. But being such an expensive market, it's really critical to get that down payment assistance piece in order to purchase the home, especially for people who are making between 30 and 80% of the area median income. And I really like to see down payment assistance as an investment. So let me backtrack a little bit to the work that we've done to increase people of color's home ownership. So Sarah mentioned earlier that we've been looking at the equity that our homeowners have gained in the years since they purchased the home with us. You've only got to go back about 6 or 7 years to see a doubling in the value of properties that people have purchased from us. And so to me, down payment assistance seems like a really good investment, both for the people that grant the down payment assistance. So for us, that's mostly the Michigan State Housing Development Authority and Washtenaw County. But it's also really a good investment for our community as a whole.
Great. Thank you, Chris. All right. Thanks. I'm going to turn it over back to Jimmy, but I just wanted to wrap up and say, right now, sorry, make sure I'm not too close to the microphone. It's difficult to do this. I mean, as we talked about, the market is making it really difficult for Habitat to help low-income buyers, and we want to be able to get people into the program. And so we need your help at this sort of thing as a breakfast to talk about all the work we're doing, but also as you're talking to your friends and neighbors, and as you're talking, it's great to have Debbie Dingle here. I mean, we need some public, assistance to figure out how to keep us in the market and be able to help everybody experience home ownership and everybody to get into that great game. You know, I'm so grateful for my home, and I imagine you are. And it's such a, it's some, you know, all the things we talked about, safety and a way to, you know, how you decorate it and how you feel about it when you go home. We want everybody to be able to have that if they want to work for that. So we really appreciate you being here today and helping us talk about this. So I'll turn it back over to you, Jimmy.
Let's give our panel another hand. Thank you, Sarah, Al, Chris, and Latanya. This was very informative for everyone here. One of the many reasons why I joined the Habitat Board of Directors, because I believe in elevating the lives of the community members that this organization serves. Some of you may know that I've been serving on the Ypsilanti Township Board of Trustees for the past 6 years. And we've had a great partnership with Habitat for Humanity of Huron Valley. But this year, I'm running for a state representative in the 32nd District, which covers the Ypsilanti area. Going to Lansing and being an advocate for the people of Ypsilanti is important to me because I have deep roots here in Washtenaw County, and more specifically in the Ypsilanti area. Every conversation I've had with the people in this district fuels my passion for serving. People have many different concerns they want me to address in our communities. But what I found is that in everyone's top three is always affordable housing somewhere in there. So I especially look forward to advocating for affordable home ownership in Washtenaw County, not only as a state representative, but also as a board member of Habitat for Humanity. But now I'd like to ask for your help. When you joined us this morning, you didn't know what we would ask you for in terms of financial support. But now that you've heard about the many programs that Habitat offers, and you've seen the impact that it has on our families, it's my privilege to ask you to make a financial investment in the ongoing success of Habitat for Humanity. This is not just an investment in Habitat for Humanity, it's truly an investment in our community. Our goal is to create a community where everyone has a decent place to live. We need your help. It's inspiring to know that hundreds of families have a safe and affordable home because of their partnership with Habitat for Humanity. It's also inspiring to think that by supporting Habitat, you are doing your part to help bridge that wealth gap that we talked about earlier. Let's take a minute to hear from a few of our donors and why they support our mission.
Hi, I'm Maria Wade, and I'm a realtor with Reinhardt Realtors here in the Washtenaw County area. I am passionate about Habitat for Humanity. I've been volunteering, working on houses and neighborhood beautification for just over 5 years. And this year, I personally wanted to make a donation by sponsoring a women's build myself and helping fundraise for the efforts. I've been working in this community for 25 years, and being a first-time homeowner is really challenging right now. And I want to see what I can do to make a difference. Building costs are going up, housing costs are going up, and interest rates are going up. And this is really making it very challenging for anyone to buy a home right now, and especially for those that are lower income and minorities in our community. And I really feel strongly that together we can do something, and this is just my small way of giving back and making our community better.
Hi, I'm Don Redding, and this is my wife, Gail. And we started volunteering for Habitat about 10 years ago when our church, First Presbyterian Church of Ann Arbor, initiated the first Habitat build. And I've been participating every year for the last 10 years in this.
Well, I'd like to just share a quick story with you. One of the first dedication ceremonies we went inside the house, and a young girl, maybe 10 years old, came up to me and she said, "Do you want to see my bedroom?" And I said, "Well, of course." So we went upstairs and she was excited about the bedroom, but then she said, "Come on over to the window, look outside." And she said, "This is my backyard. It's the first time that I have ever had a place to play that's safe." So Habitat not only builds houses, but it also builds quality of life.
So then we went down to the actual dedication, and the new homeowner, Crystal, explained how she was the first person in all the family generations to ever own a home. And so we got to thinking about that as we drove home, and we understood that Habitat wasn't building houses, they were actually building homes. And we decided we wanted to be a part of that. So we have made Habitat our charity of choice. It's where we put our money and our time, and we would ask you to join us in supporting Habitat.
Your donation will be supporting our home improvement program and hundreds of homeowners similar to the ones we introduced to you this morning. We truly appreciate whatever level of support you can provide. Every donation makes an impact for Habitat. Please take a moment to find a pen and a pledge card on your table. You can write a check or fill in your credit card information. You can also use your phone to take a picture of the QR code that's on your table to make your payment online. Your generosity is appreciated. Don't forget that through the gracious matching gift donation of Don and Gail Redding and Old National Bank, your gift will have double the impact today. Whatever gift you have chosen to make today, we sincerely thank you and every one of you on behalf of the people we serve. We thank you for the most important gift that you've actually given today, which is your valuable time. On behalf of our organization and the families we serve, thank you for joining us this morning as a supporter. Thank you for shopping and donating at the Restore. Thank you for volunteering your time. You're helping change the lives and perspectives of our community. Together, we are framing the future. Thank you again and enjoy the rest of your day.